wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve recording this episode while I am getting ready to travel to Ohio for Thanksgiving to be with my family for the holiday here in the United States, but also to celebrate hopefully a safe arrival for my new niece or nephew. We don't know which yet. That will be born around Tuesday or Wednesday before American Thanksgiving this year, 2018. So we'll have a long road trip coming up. I might do a supplemental podcast to this one to be released maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, talking to you about how I'm coping with a 12-hour ride with my wife, a dog, and a 2-year-old. But for this week, let's hear from Marcus Aurelius, and he's going to tell us a little bit about living within society, things to remind ourselves of, and ways to better integrate ourselves into the society rather than standing apart from it. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 9, Chapter 22 and 23. Hasten to examine your own ruling faculty, and that of the universe, and that of your neighbor. Your own, that you may make it just, and that of the universe, that you may remember of what you are a part, and that of your neighbor, that you may know whether he has acted ignorantly or with knowledge, and that you may also consider that his ruling faculty is akin to yours. Number 23. As you yourself are a component of a social system, so let every act of yours be a component of social life. Whatever act of yours, then, has no reference either immediately or remotely to a social end, this tears asunder your life and does not allow it to be one. And it is the nature of a mutiny. Just as when, in a popular assembly, a man acting by himself stands apart from the general agreement. So some advice here that is akin to that of Epictetus. At all times, we need to keep in mind that we need to take good care of our sense of reason. How could we do that? Well, one way, if you want to formally pursue this, is to study a little bit of logic, some critical thinking. There are books on critical thinking that I have a few that I could recommend. One is called How to Think About Weird Things. It's a nice introduction to critical thinking. So, trying to be sure that you're not being biased, that you're being fair, that you're not falling into the traps that you judge others for. Like, oh, listen to that guy. He doesn't even listen to the other side. He doesn't understand or whatever. While you might be doing the same thing. It's really hard to let go of your own positions even when they're wrong. And it's especially so if you refuse to examine how you're acting. So examine your own ruling faculty and that of the universe. Remember, the Stoics believe the universe has a capability of reason. At least the original Stoics did. So he says, you need to make sure that you examine your own faculties, right? To make sure that you're just. And make sure that of the universe, because you are a part of that universe, and so you need to align it with reality, basically. And then with your neighbor, because it's easy to judge somebody without thoroughly thinking about why they're doing what they're doing. They may be acting out of reason, but you think they're doing something unreasonable. Or perhaps they're being ignorant. Maybe you need to help them and teach them, but you don't need to yell at them or blow up at them, because if they're doing it out of ignorance, it's not really their fault. They need to be taught the right way. And then he says you can consider that his ruling faculty, your neighbor's ruling faculty, is akin to yours. This idea that we all share that divine spark of reason that unites us together in the cosmopolis. So this person is like your sister or your brother. Don't be too harsh with them. Try to help them. The next part of the reading then, the next chapter, number 23,
says that we are part of that social system because we all share that spark of reason, and not to do any act. We've mentioned this before in the podcast, but it's really important. Every act that you do should have some social component, whether it's immediate or remote. So me doing this podcast, perhaps I'm helping someone in some way far, far away. I'm helping myself too, sure, but I may be helping someone far, far away. When you're at home, let's say you want to just chill and watch TV. Can you think of a really good reason, or a way that might, at least some remote way, might help society at large? And if not, then should you do something else? I don't know. That's up to you. We're not talking about a religion here where I'm going to tell you what to do, but you need to think about it, right? Be okay with your decisions using this criterion. Is what you're doing now in some way beneficial to society? And Marcus Aurelius says that if what you're doing now doesn't have any bearing on society, that you're basically a mutineer. We are all on the same ship. We're all part of the same crew. We need to work together. And if you are doing something that's not to the benefit of all, then you are bucking the system. You are not helping out. So you can ask yourself that. Is what I'm doing just? Is what I'm doing reasonable? Is what I'm doing, does it have any positive impact on the society in which I live? I guess at the bare minimum, you can ask yourself, is what I'm doing hurting the society in which I live? And if it's, a little bit, then don't do that thing, right? Okay, something to think about this week. I will catch you later on, and I'm going to hit the road. Carpe diem.
Thank you for listening to The Sunday Stoic. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and review The Sunday Stoic on iTunes. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team, earn rewards, and be an integral part of the show by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com or by leaving a voicemail at 501-503-3132. To find out more, visit www.sundaystoicpodcast.com. And as Steve always says, Carpe Diem.